Can you hear the approaching ruin? Blah, 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 blah. It's time. Time to review the biggest asshole in Epic 7, Arbiter Vildred. He's not an asshole anymore because I have him now, but before that he was a real dick. So, as usual, we're going to go over his skills, we'll go over how to build him, then we'll do a short PvP showcase, and then we're going to go into the summary, so let's get started right now. Alright, so Arbiter Vildred's skills, S1 pretty basic, except it actually does a lot of damage if he has good gear, and at max mola it pushes back their CR by 15% to both of the targets. So pretty solid S1. It's pretty brutal because it hits hard, so especially when you pair him with like a Lilius or something, this thing can actually wipe people out. Now, as usual, the S2 is what makes him really special. After receiving lethal damage, he regenerates to at max mola 100% health, 100% combat readiness, full focus, and his S3's cooldown is reset. So basically, if you don't have an extra turn mechanic when you kill him, he is going to hit you with his S3, and this thing can one-shot. Like, if you have anything that's not a Soul Weaver or a Bruiser, like any squishy cleaver is gonna get demolished by his S3, which is why everyone hates Arbiter Vildred and why he's one of the most hated heroes in Epic 7. Speaking of his S3, it attacks all enemies, decreases hit chance for 2 turns, which is actually a very annoying debuff, especially if you're like an ML Ken runner or something and you get this blind on you and even your counter doesn't kill him. He gets focus every time he attacks, and when the focus is full, his S3 changes from that little spinny thing he saw to this special animation where he drops a bunch of snakes on you, or as my guildie calls it, the penis blade or whatever. And if you kill someone with it, the cooldown does not occur. So if you kill someone, you can actually spam this thing over and over, and it becomes ridiculous really quick. Also, it has a soul burn, which makes it do even more damage. It's just a ridiculous kit, a ridiculous hero, and yeah, you probably hate him already, so I don't really have to talk more about that. Let's go into how to build him. Alright, so builds. Let's talk about how to build Arbiter Vildred. There's really 2 main ways to do it. So the one I opted for is high attack, high damage. As you can see, my gear is not good at all here. For reference, a damage spect legend Arbiter will be similar to mine, except 100% crit and probably closer to 5k attack. I'm only using 1 reforged piece here. So those are targets, like 5k attack, 300 to 350 crit damage, 100% crit, and usually around 150 to 170 speed for a legend tier Arbiter. The other option is Speed Arbiter, where basically you can either go like Destruction or Attack Set and just put on Speed main boots, or a lot of them will just go Speed Set, and Arbiter's base speed is pretty damn fast. So even with some minor speed like +5, +10 speed on random pieces, you can get to 200 pretty easily and still use attack main boots. So you can still have a speed set Arbiter with like 4500 attack and 200 speed. So how you use it is really up to you. If you're using it just as high damage cleaver, then you would go mainly attack or destruction set. If you want him to be more general purpose and get multiple turns and expect him to do more than just cleave, then you probably want around 200, 210 speed. Some people also try to get really interesting and they'll go like 260 speed Arbiter Vildred's very rare, but again, Arbiter's a pretty fast hero, so you can get him there. The problem with that is he doesn't really do much damage, and most of them are predicated on the notion that Alexa's Basket will proc, and that the thing attacking them is a very squishy cleave team. In terms of artifacts, there's 2 main ones, Alexa's Basket or Moonlight Dreamblade. Moonlight Dreamblade is very strong on Arbiter because it adds this RNG factor, especially when you're getting hit by things like Judge Kisei cleaves. If they miss that first hit, they basically auto-lose the match. That works, all the way up to Champion. Once you get past Champion, I highly recommend switching to Alexa's Basket. Mine is only plus 15, unfortunately. Arguably a plus 30 MLDB is better than Alexa's, but I like the greater attack buff. But at the high end, you really need that greater attack buff to be scary. So I would say if you're pushing past champion, most arbiters are in fact using Alexa's basket. But if you don't have it, or if it's, you know, low upgraded like mine, MLDB is a perfectly fine option. If you're planning on using Arbiter as a cleaver in like an Oxalot's cleave, you can even just put Portrait on him, because regular attack buff plus Portrait actually does more damage than a greater attack proc. So with that out of the way, let's move on to everyone's favorite part, the PvP showcase. We'll do some troll fights. Alright, so I've already failed against this guy, but I am determined to one-man him. Basically, the problem is I only have a plus 15 Alexas, and I need the Alexas to proc for this to work. Otherwise, my Arbiter doesn't do enough damage, because his gear isn't that great. But if the Alexas procs, I mean, this should be pretty hysterical. So of course they're going to kill me here. There's no way I could survive that. We'll see if Alexas comes up this time. Yes! So here we go, we got the Alexas proc. Let's drop the snakes on him. Can you hear the approaching ruin? What a troll-ass hero. So that's basically what Arbiter does, why he's so freaking annoying. I mean, it's just ridiculous. Like, he can one-shot any squishy heroes by himself. I mean, this is champion tier, and he literally just soloed them. That is just absolutely bonkers. Although, of course, I didn't even crit there, otherwise she would have died. Ooh, greater attack again. There we go. So, Arbiter 1v4 complete. Obviously, this doesn't work most of the time. You need Alexas to proc against any geared team. But still, when it does, it's extremely hilarious. Let's try real fight next. Alright, so another great way to use Arbiter is kind of like a backup cleaver. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to use, where's my A-Lots? We're going to put A-Lots in here. We're going to put Judge Kisei in here. And because Arbiter Vildred will cleave when he dies, it's a very safe cleaver to bring. So this is a very viable team here. I'm sure some people use this if they have both Judge Kisei and Arbiter. But basically the strategy here is I boost up Judge Kisei. You could use like BBK or something too, I guess. You cleave. You soften him up. Judge Kisei continues doing work. This is almost like a Judge Kisei highlight here. We boost up the Arbiter. We'll just tickle this Ruel. Actually, just straight up kills her. Apoc Robbie will do her thingy now. Brings Lilius back, no problem. Doesn't matter. And now, Arbiter can just do a little cleanup here. Hopefully they kill the Arbiter. And then he'll come back to life and just clean him up. So, whatever, we'll just attack this Apoc Ravi, doesn't really matter. There we go, kill him, kill him! Yes! And now we drop the full focus snakes on them. So this is one way to use Arbiter Vildred just as like a backup cleaver. This Apoc Ravi is actually really tanky, so she's surviving, but she should die right here. So this is one team option for you guys. Let's try one more since these are pretty quick matches. Alright, so this one I have no idea how fast the Cerise is, so I'm going to bring a speed imprint for Acid. If I get outsped by Cerise, I basically just lose. But otherwise, this should be pretty funny. If they go first, I'll just lose instantly. Alright, come on, Acid! Yes, just barely. Uh-oh. Oh, okay, the Oxalot is faster. Alright, so we're going to push back this Cerise. There we go, and now we boost up good ol' Arbiter, and we cleave. Whap! Arbiter comes back. He gets the Alexas. Oh no! But the best counter to Arbiter is Arbiter. Yoink. And we win. So, Arbiter Vildred is just hilarious in PvP. I mean, Against cleave teams, he's an absolute monster. There's really nothing more to say past what I showed you. And my Arbiter Vildred, if you remember from the build section, not even good. Go watch someone like Tenha. His Arbiter has like more crit damage, more crit chance, and 1,000 more attack than mine. It's probably like imprinted and has a plus 30 Alexas. If you have that kind of gear, Arbiter is even more insane. So let's move on to the summary. Alright, so Arbiter Vildred, is he good? I mean, do I really have to say it? Everyone knows he's good. Yes, he's freaking good. He's arguably the best hero in Epic 7. Now, I know what some people are going to say. They're going to be like, oh, he's not good anymore. He has counters. Dude, everything in the game has counters. The only reason it's special is because until recently, he didn't have any counters. Now there's like Blood Moon Haste, which a lot of people skipped other than like top players. There's Sinful Angie, but that's really only a counter to Arbiters on defense. In general, Arbiter Vildred is still incredibly strong. So I don't usually talk about PvE, but also PvE. Let's just say that he's the best dogwalker in the game. And in terms of PvP ratings, Arena Offense, S. He can enable some pretty troll teams, and he's a top tier backup cleaver. Not really a main cleaver, like Judge Kisei or BBK do way more damage, like way more one-shot potential than Arbiter Vildred, but they don't have that security net that Arbiter Vildred does, and Arbiter Vildred is still very strong, especially if Alexa's procs. Arena defense, he's still an S. Yes, Sinful Angelica exists. Yes, Blood Moon Haste exists, but I mean, you know, everything in the game is countered. Like, things like Rowana exist for SSB. Like, if you say a hero is bad just because they have a few heroes that counter them, that's really not a valid argument in my opinion. He's still an S on arena defense. He's still all over the place. Guild Wars offense, S. He has some really troll comps like Oxlot's Arbiter, Cdom. If you have enough damage and crit damage on your Arbiter, it trivializes a lot of fights. Guild Wars defense, also an S, like he's everywhere. Obviously, if you get attacked by someone with Sinful Angie, or, a lot of people will use like Lilibet or Sigrid now. Yes, he has counters, but he's still a hero where if they don't have those things built, he's a real problem for them. And again, everything in the game has counters. And RTA, in my opinion, it's his weakest content at the moment, but he's still an S. Like, if you guys, there was this guy Code, I think he's like the rank 1 RTA player, he had a tier list recently. He is still up there. And when I versed Legend players in the first season, it was not uncommon to have people pre-ban Arbiter all the time. Like, I would say 75% of pre-bans were Arbiter and Faithless Litica. So to say that he's bad in RTA is nonsense, because there's a reason why, like, Legend players are not pre-banning bad heroes. It doesn't make any sense. Like, he's still very scary, and he's a very safe first pick because he's very strong against both cleave teams and reasonable against bruiser teams. So very strong hero, amazing in PvE, best dogwalker in the game, amazing in PvP. If you have the Mystics and you're watching this while he's still on a Mystic rotation, just get him. Like, some people are saying, like, oh, this is a bait banner. Arbiter Vildred is not a bait banner. That's like saying Ruel was a bait banner. It's one of the best heroes in the game. Well worth it for everybody. Will make dog walking so much faster. He's just god tier. So anyways, that wraps up my Arbiter Vildred review, the king asshole of Epic 7. I wish you guys the best of luck in getting him, and make sure you like and sub if you want to see more of my reviews in the future. Till next time, guys, peace out.